It is a steamy summer time right now. It's like,
Oh my goodness! Yesterday was so humid. My wife and I went
yeah,
for a hike, and
yeah, it's impossible.
wow,
It's
yeah,
like almost 100% humidity.
yep,
Like you just walk outside and it just comes out of you.
mm-hmm.
It's just nuts. My wife and I are actually going on vacation to Vancouver and Seattle, and like the high is like 70 degrees.
Oh, so nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Just kind of get away from all that
I have a friend
hot.
that lives in Vancouver.
Oh, cool.
He works for Apple.
Oh, cool. Oh, does Apple have a thing out there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
But people aren't, checking our podcast, listen about our vacation plans. They're talking. They want to talk. They want to hear us talk about Deadpool 2.
That's right. Deadpool 2, which you saw for the first time ever.
Yes. Well, okay. Let me back up. For a few years now, because this came out in 2018, I would watch random YouTube clips that would pull up on my feed. So there'll be a YouTube clip of Deadpool fighting Cable or Domino doing something and blah blah blah. And
right.
so of course I did not get the whole picture until I watched the whole thing, and I was like, oh, okay, it makes sense now. And the plot of this is actually way better than Deadpool 1. The violence level is about the same or even higher.
Yeah.
But this feels more of a complete comic book movie than the other movies did. But the gratuitous childish violence is, after a while, like, this gets old, but is what it is. You can't complain about too much. I'm like the entire X-Force team getting killed on the. It's just like, come on.
Well, everybody but Domino.
Yeah, and then Brad Pitt's little weird cameos, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. I liked it.
The movie's funny, and it's funny in a way that the internet appreciates. I think it's like a bunch of weird, like, jokes that kids would make at a playground. Like, hey, I'm Deadpool. I'm playing Deadpool. You play Cable. Let's have fun, type of deal. But it also has some heart with Vanessa getting killed and the whole thing about that.
Right.
So it's fine. The amount of money they spent on this movie just for the cameos alone is kind of ridiculous. It must be Ryan Reynolds is asking for favors. That's the only way
gotta
get all these people to show up. Like, it's just like, like, you blink and you miss it. The X-Men cameo. Like, how did he get all these guys to get back into makeup? So
I'll tell you how they did that.
Go ahead.
They shot that scene while they were shooting Dark Phoenix.
Oh, okay, yeah.
As an insert for this movie. Yeah.
Ah, that's smart. Okay, that's nice. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, how'd you learn that?
I don't remember. Just a fact that I have stored away in my head somewhere.
All right. Well, that's the best thing Dark Phoenix did. That's funny.
I'm pretty sure it was Dark Phoenix. Yeah. Probably but it was one of those movies.
Yeah. But I mean, no one else can play Deadpool more than Ryan Reynolds, and I don't know how
he's perfect for it. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know the character from the comics, but he seems
he's made it his. Like, and I want people to understand that this is not going to be Deadpool 3 that's coming out this year. It will not be the last Deadpool. It just won't be. But I'm curious. I still don't like the Deadpool character that much. I think a lot of this stuff is gross. Like,
my kids loved Deadpool. I think I told you about this. They really wanted to see the first movie when it came out, but the reason they wanted to see it is because Deadpool was a character in one of the, like, Teen Titans cartoons or something like that. No, Teen Titans is DC, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He was a character in some cartoon they were watching at the time, and they loved him from the cartoon. And I was like, no, you cannot watch this movie.
Well, how old are the kids now? They
this was back when it came out.
Yeah,
so they were like, I don't know, late elementary when this came out.
Who watched it? Yes, who watched it this time with you?
I had to watch this one by myself for reasons. So nobody watched it with me.
All right,
but yeah.
All right, so I got a couple of things that I want to kind of just talk about in general that that I kind of want to spend some time.
Do you want to do a summary of the movie or nah?
No, because it's a lot of stupid stuff.
I kind of wanted to hear you do a summary of the movie, but
I mean, Deadpool kills people. Somebody kills his wife. He tries to kill himself, and then he blows himself up. Doesn't work for some reason.
Yeah,
he becomes an X-Men. He kills a guy. He gets arrested. Cable comes after him and some weird kid. Deadpool fights Cable. The weird kid escapes. No, the weird kid gets shipped to another facility. Deadpool tries to stop Cable because Cable wants to kill the kid.
Right.
It doesn't work. Juggernaut shows up. Juggernaut rips Deadpool in half. Then there's a plan to try to save the kid from Cable because Cable wants to kill the kid.
And the reason Wade wants to save the kid is to be reunited with his wife.
Correct.
That's the only reason. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of. Yeah. I would say yes. Yeah.
Maybe it's a change of heart, but that's the reason.
Yeah. And then he ends up sacrificing his life to save the kid. Cable uses his time travel thing to save Deadpool. The kid realizes he shouldn't be a killer. And I guess everything wraps up.
It's all good.
It's actually a crazy plot. Now that I read it over again, like the amount of action and just sheer violence, but also just dialogue and talking. Like this is one of the things I can't stand. Just shut up. That's like there's so much talking in this movie. Like everybody's yapping, especially Deadpool, constantly.
That's a dialogue heavy movie. Yeah.
It's like after a while, I'm like, can we just calm down a little bit? Like I don't.
Isn't that like one of Deadpool from the comics?
He talks a lot. Yeah. But it's
so.
like, come on, man. Like it's I don't know how to put this. It's like he's the guy in a class where he has to be the funniest person in the class and has to get attention. But at a certain point, it's like I'm trying to do something here. Like I'm trying to teach or I'm trying to tell us. Like you don't have to have all of it. And after a while, it just feels like Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds, it takes up so much real estate in your brain that I don't have any room for myself. I think that's one of the reasons why I don't like him. It's like when the movie's on,
you still don't like him.
It's fine, but like it's just so dense.
Okay.
Which is
before you get into your things that you want to talk about, I've got two things. I got a list of things to talk about too, but I want to hit my top two.
Go ahead.
Okay. This movie made me remember how much of a banger Dolly Parton's 9 to 5 is. That's such a great song.
It is. It's really good.
And it actually worked really well in the movie.
They're remaking the movie, by the way, 9 to 5.
9 to 5, really?
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, they're remaking it.
Interesting. Who's playing Dolly Parton's character?
I don't know. Probably Dolly Parton.
I mean, that'll work. All right. And then I love the James Bond style opening credits to this movie. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the movie's creative, very creative. It's a lot of fun jokes. I have to admit that. The jokes are fun. It's really fun.
All right. I'm going to save some of my others. You can get started now.
All right. So a lot of the stuff that you see with Deadpool and his healing factor is kind of taken away from Wolverine and his healing factor. And there's a Wolverine comic called Wolverine versus Hulk. It's way old. The Hulk rips Wolverine in half, and then Wolverine has to deal with that. And so it's not like, so this is not the first time some big boss has ripped someone in half before. So I thought that was interesting. And there's a lot of, that's why it's interesting that
who ripped Wolverine in half?
The Hulk did.
The Hulk. Wow. Okay.
But it wasn't.
Why were they fighting each other?
It wasn't the Hulk. It was the Ultimate comic, so it was a breakaway from the original comics. They would just fight each other to fight each other. I don't know.
All right. Okay.
And like so a lot. And that's interesting because now that we're having when we have X-Men Wolverine, a lot like it's gonna be kind of fun to see their healing factor jokes go back and forth. But the healing factor in this movie is exaggerated. Like in comics, he would have never gone through all that stuff and lived. So
the baby legs, he wouldn't have done the baby legs in the comics.
No. The Domino thing's interesting. I like Domino.
I was expecting his legs to just kind of refuse with his body instead of regrow themselves.
Yeah, it's just. It's funnier that way, right?
It is funnier that way.
Yeah. Domino's interesting. I thought she was casted very well. And I like how
Zazie Betts. You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, I like how they handled her. I think people were a little upset because in the comics, I don't know if she's black or white in the comics. I don't know.
Well, she's Domino, right?
She has really pale skin, like white skin in the comics.
But like, she has a black spot on her eye, right?
Yes, but that black spot is cosmetic. So in the comics, it's just a little thing.
Maybe the pale face is cosmetic.
No. In the comics, she's all white skinned. Okay. But anyway, the way they handle her,
I only know Domino from this movie and Fortnite.
Yeah, the way they handle her powers is excellent. I love when like she's not the first luck based character that the comics have had. I think what's his face?
Gambit's a little bit luck based.
Somewhat.
Right?
There's like there were always suspicions that he had like luck based abilities, but it's never confirmed. Longshot was a character who had luck based abilities for sure. Domino's definitely one too, and I think a couple others. But yeah, it's just
that might be the best superpower.
It's a cool superpower because it's random and it feels like you can do a lot of fun things with it. And the montage with Domino like, using her powers is just fantastic. I mean,
you can do whatever you want, and your luck is just going to take care of it.
It makes me really want it. Like even in the comics, they do a really good job of that. It makes me really want to see more of that. I would love to see. Like I love Josh Brolin's casting as Cable. I thought it was perfect. He looked the part.
Oh yeah, this is like
his role.
Yeah, he's so cool in this role. Yeah,
but the thing is, Josh Brolin
better as Cable than Thanos, in my opinion.
But like, I think he just makes the characters his own all the time. Like, it doesn't matter what character it is. Josh Brolin can just make him. Like seriously, I think Josh Brolin could be.
Is Thanos really Josh Brolin's Thanos, or is it Marvel's Thanos?
I think the voice of Thanos is definitely Josh Brolin. You couldn't have another Thanos voice, without a doubt. Like that's it. And Cable, he looked perfect as Cable.
Yeah, he looks good. Yeah.
Did they ever
did a good job with his robot half or whatever?
Say again.
They did a good job with his cybernetic arm and body and stuff.
Yeah, when I was watching, I was a little distracted because I was doing other things. So I was watching this. I gave this movie 75% of my life. Did they tie in the Cable father stuff, or they just lived that completely out?
The Cable what now?
The fact that Cyclops is his dad or any of that stuff. Did they?
No, they didn't. I don't think they talked about any of that.
Yeah, and like that's probably for the best. It will make everything very confusing. So just leave it out.
Well, I mean, yeah.
So that's fine. But man, I would love to see an X-Men movie with Josh Brolin as Cable and Domino back. I would love to see that. I would absolutely love.
Yeah, dude.
Mm-hmm. I would love to see Josh Brolin just show up in the main MCU and be like, I am Cable, blah blah blah.
Maybe Cable will show up in Deadpool 3.
That would be great. That would be awesome.
Yeah. It fit right.
Yeah, it does. And I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that next right now. The time traveling stuff is interesting to me. So here's the deal, Mike. The TVA, when it was originally created in Loki season 1, Loki, they hunted down Loki because he was a variant, which is there was time travel.
He did something that created a branch in the timeline.
Yes. So what he did was so the original timeline for Loki was that he died. But he used the space gem or the cube to travel.
The Tesseract.
The Tesseract to travel out of the situation where he could be, and that's where the branch came from. The branch was created by the Avengers originally, but he took advantage of it. And then the TVA said, well, you can't exist. You're not supposed to exist. I think that's what they're going to do with Deadpool 3. I think that's going to be the main plot. Like TVA is going to go to Wade and be like, you create a branch. You're existent. You can't exist. Your entire timeline has to be purged. However, if you do this for us, we'll let you live. And I think it's going to be, that's going to be the whole, it has to be that. Because like, if you think about it, when he traveled back in time to save Vanessa, he created the alternate universe, like a branch, and that the TVA is going to be like, you can't do that, So it may make sense, right?
Right, yeah.
But I'm curious how Cable fits into this, like, because he was time traveling too. It makes sense that he would be in this. It really does. I don't think they will. There's supposed to be a lot of cameos that we don't know about, but I can see Josh Brolin being in this and being part of the problem with the TVA. But I don't know the rest of it. I don't know what else they're going to do with the TVA. But we've seen clips in Deadpool 3 of him fighting TVA officers. He's killing them left and right. So it feels like it's definitely him trying to stop his universe from being destroyed, which could bring Deadpool into the main MCU. Maybe he does something to fix that.
Did you see the most recent trailer for?
Yeah, the one I saw, the last Deadpool 3 trailer I saw was Wolverine fighting the original Sabretooth from X-Men 1. Is that the one you saw? That's pretty fun. Yep. That's pretty fun. Mm-hmm. I mean, when I saw it, I was like, hey, this is fun. But you go back to it, it's fun, but then Deadpool is like, he's like, hey, this is fun. I want to recognize that this is fun. Like, we've been waiting 25 years for this. Like, we know, man. Like, you don't have to tell us. Like, we understand how cool this is. You don't have to be so obnoxious about. I don't know. Anyway,
that might just be for the trailer. It might not actually show up in the movie.
I think it will. I think it probably will. Anyway, so I think I figured out the plot for Deadpool 3. It makes sense. It's too obvious not to be that. And again, here's my main question.
All right. Well, how does the villain fit into that?
Well, I don't know. So anyway, here's my main question about Deadpool 2. As far as time travel is concerned, if Wade travels in time to stop Vanessa, then he doesn't commit suicide or try to, which means he doesn't join the X-Men, which means he's not in the position to meet Firefist. Which means Firefist is going to become a murderer anyway? Or does Firefist stay in the orphanage because Deadpool is not able to see that he's in the orphanage? How's that timeline work now? Like, because the whole thing is Deadpool meets Firefist, a little kid, and then he saves the little kid from being abused in the orphanage. And then the kid doesn't become a murderer because of it. Like, help me out.
I think you're thinking about it too much. Wade Wilson, Deadpool was just cleaning up the timelines, that's all.
But like, did you hear what I just said?
I heard what you said. Yeah, okay. I don't know.
You just don't want to admit. You don't want to acknowledge it. That's fine.
I just don't want to think about that. That's like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it did. I mean, I just wish that people are as sophisticated as I am.
I'm gonna let the writers of Deadpool and Wolverine think about that for me.
But they just ignored it, right?
How do we know?
Well, I don't know. We have to wait for Deadpool 3, I guess. But like, the whole premise of this movie, Deadpool 2, is that Deadpool meets this kid and stops Cable from killing this kid.
Yeah, but that's at the very end of the movie where he cleans up the timeline. So who knows what happens from there? Maybe he comes back to this time. I don't know.
I don't like that. Doesn't that bother you?
Maybe he leaves this timeline after he's already met Firefist, so it's all good there.
I shouldn't have.
And now he's in a new timeline where none of that is a problem.
I shouldn't have to theory craft this. The movie should tell me. That's the work you're supposed to do. Like, that's the work, right? Like, you're supposed to clean this up, and like they just didn't do it. They were like, the movie's over. Like, doesn't that? I don't know. It just bothers me. Okay. It doesn't bother anybody else because
it did not bother me at all.
Well, that's the point. Deadpool is a joke, so the whole thing's a joke. So you can't take it seriously. Like, it's ridiculous. It's like if you want to do this, do it right, man. Like, whatever.
This isn't a Kenneth Branagh movie, you know.
If you're going to do something, do it right, do it well, and like it's an obvious plot hole. Like, anybody can see that. Okay. And plus, they're not following the time travel rules set by Avengers Infinity War.
Good. Those rules are stupid.
No, they're not.
Those rules conflict with themselves.
No, okay. That's not true.
Captain America. That's all I need to say. That's all I need to say.
What about Captain America?
He violates those rules in that movie.
I hereby decree that time travel movies should not be made because nobody's getting it right.
Not in Marvel. Not in Marvel.
Listen, no. Nick, here's one of the biggest.
Back to the Future nailed it.
Here's one of the biggest reasons why time travel movies don't work. Okay. Take Earth. You got Earth, right?
Yeah.
Does Earth sit in space and never move, or is Earth? It's moving through the universe, isn't it? Right. Hello. Mike?
So before we had technical difficulties, we were jibber-jabbering about time travel.
Yes. So, okay. So, Here's the thing: Earth is not stagnant; it moves around the universe. Can we establish that?
Exactly. Yes.
So, if that's true, if you are on Earth in 1995 and you hit the time travel button to go to Earth 1860, you have to compensate for the movement of the planet around the universe, right?
Right.
No one talks about that in time travel stuff, and so it doesn't make any sense.
They do in Doctor Who.
Oh, how do they fix that in Doctor Who?
So the TARDIS, I don't know what the whole thing stands for, but the TARD part of TARDIS is time and relative dimension.
That makes sense. I like that.
Yeah, so it moves through time and relative dimensions. So you actually land where you're supposed to instead of out in the middle of the space. Yeah, because if you're just traveling through time, whenever you pop out, you're probably going to pop out to the middle of a vacuum of space.
That's the kind of sophistication. First of all, I'm not going to watch Doctor Who, and please, for the love of God, if you listen to this, please don't even try to think about making me watch Doctor Who. There's no way.
You know what? I'll just I'm just since the topic came up, I am watching the current season. It's way better than I expected it to be. There are 2 really fantastic episodes and some okay episodes.
Listen, can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I did not watch any Doctor Who, but I did watch one of the spin-off shows. What was the spin-off show?
Torchwood.
Yes, I watched Torchwood like a crack addict.
Torchwood was good. Yeah, I liked it too.
It was really good. But it's very heavy. And I mean, they're very emotionally, dramatically heavy stuff. You know, I kind of feel like Doctor Who's kind of that way too. And you know what else was the same way was Sherlock. All those BBC shows have this weird, emotionally heavy thing going on, which is fine.
Right.
Anyway,
yeah.
That's what I was trying to say.
Well, they live on a miserable island, so.
Oh, come on. Okay, that might be true. But my point is, I like the sophisticated nature of time travel. I wish people explore time travel in a more honest, creative way, as opposed to this plot hole fixing time travel mess. This gets old after a while.
Yeah,
that's just me. Anyway,
I read recently that time travel is only possible in the future.
I mean,
so you could only time travel to the future. You can't time travel to the past.
I mean, it's fine. Whatever. That's not going to affect us anytime soon. That's not going to be any kind of.
But that's I don't know.
So does that mean
it's not super useful?
No,
right?
No, time travel is not useful at all.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? Oh, I'm in the future. Okay, I can't do anything.
And you can't go back.
I can't.
So you can't learn something in the future and come back with it. You can just keep going into the future and.
Yeah. And what exactly? It's
exactly.
Anyway, other than that, with Deadpool.
However, if you were Cartman, you could time travel into the future when the Switch came out or whatever it was.
But he didn't time travel. He just buried himself in snow. That's not. Is that
right?
Is that
exactly.
time travel?
I'm saying you could time travel instead of burying yourself in snow. That's the only time it would be useful.
Why? Besides wanting to go back in time to save your wife from being murdered.
Yeah.
Why would anyone time travel? What's the point of that?
Killing baby Hitler.
I mean, if we didn't have Hitler, we wouldn't have a lot of the Western world. The entire American, America would not be nearly as rich as this country is without having to help rebuild Europe from a war. That's one of the reasons why America was such a powerhouse.
I mean, absolutely, yeah.
So everything happens for a reason, whether you like it or not. So there's no point theorizing about killing Hitler. It's
if you look hard enough, there's a silver lining in all things. I guess.
That's not true either. No, come on. I'm not going to say that. There's no silver lining to that stuff. But
you were just talking about some of the great things that Hitler did.
No, I didn't say that. First of all, no, I didn't say that. What I'm saying is that if you like the world as it is, which I kind of don't, maybe time travel would be nice. If I could go back in time, I probably would make it so North America was not ever discovered.
That's a good. Well, you mean invaded?
No, discovered. No one would have ever found it. No one would have.
No one.
No
so
one.
even the
no one would have.
Okay.
This entire continent would be nothing but deers, bears, some wolves, and a bunch of trees.
I mean, eventually the South Americans would have wandered their way up here.
No. Yeah, but that would be a small amount of people compared to what we have now, right?
Yeah.
So
interesting. That's enough time travel talk.
The best time travelers are trees, by the way. Anyway, as far as Deadpool's concerned...
Is what?
Trees.
Trees?
Trees are the best time travelers. Yeah, they live to be 300, 400 years old.
That's just being really old, not time travel.
Well, they traveled through time, did they not?
Well, then we're all time travelers.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Firefist is definitely a character from the comics, but nobody cares about them.
Okay. Hang on. Let me get back. Are you done with things you want to talk about?
Yeah. I'm way done.
I want to go to my list.
Go ahead.
Go to my list here. Okay. All right. So I think this is really
a bad movie.
No, this speaks to Wade Wilson's character, and I don't know if he's a good guy because he keeps the cure for blindness buried under the floorboards of Blind Al's apartment.
It's funny.
Yeah,
he does torture her in the comics.
Did you notice that? Like,
next
to his bags of cocaine is the cure for blindness.
He does torture her in the comics, so that's kind of what it is.
Do they live together in the comics?
Yeah, like just like they do now. Yeah, yeah.
Really? Okay. All right. Cool.
But I mean,
we already talked about the X-Men cameo, which was pretty neat. Cable. There's a lot of mutants in prison in this movie.
I couldn't keep track. I couldn't keep track of all of them.
None of them were recognizable. Other than, of course, what's his face?
Who?
The huge dude.
Juggernaut.
Yeah. There we go.
Now remember in the comics,
did you notice that they kind of so when Firefist meets Juggernaut, it's kind of like the movie Goonies.
Oh yeah.
Where Chunk meets that big dude.
What a great movie, right?
Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
In Goonies.
He was in Goonies?
He was the older brother.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Oh. I didn't know that.
Josh Brolin, the older brother in Goonies.
That's awesome. What was I going to say? But do remember that Juggernaut is Professor X's stepbrother, which they didn't say, of course, in the movie.
Really?
We've talked about this.
That's not something I'm going to remember ever, I don't think. Because they just don't seem like stepbrothers?
That's funny. No, they don't seem like it, but I wish people would would respect that truth, but they don't.
And they never talk about it.
Don't.
All right. Did you catch the Matt Damon cameo?
No, where was that?
Matt Damon was the pontificating redneck when Cable first comes to our planet in time. Oh,
yeah, okay. Yeah, I got that.
The two rednecks sitting on the truck? Yeah, Matt Damon's the one that's doing all the talking.
That's funny. Okay. What else you got?
I liked Cable's sling bag. I kind of want one just like it.
That's awesome. Where would you purchase that?
I don't know. Listeners, if you know where to get Cable's sling bag, let us know. Drop a link.
I have a nice one my wife gave me for Christmas that I like a lot.
Yeah. Do you wear it like a fanny pack, or do you use it over the shoulder sling?
It's over the shoulders, and I put the actual pack part over my chest. So if I want something, I can just unzip it and grab it.
Right. Sweet.
No, it's nice.
I might ask you for a link for that because I need one.
Sure. They're very popular, and as a man, pockets putting all your stuff in your pockets isn't good for your health. It's like,
yeah, especially your back pocket.
Yeah, it's not good. So put all your wallets and keys and everything in the fanny pack, and then in the sling, and you got everything you need, and it's great.
Right. I'm a fan.
I'm a huge fan of it because now I don't have to worry about all my stuff bulking up my pockets. This is great.
And you got a go bag.
Yeah.
Right.
Perfect. Yeah. Yep.
Cable's gun goes to 11. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
that was good.
It's a Spinal Tap reference for those who don't know. What is DMC?
I have no idea. Hang on.
That's the acronym for the prison that they're in.
Hang on.
I mean, it is like the coolest acronym I think ever.
Department of Mutant Corrections. But it's only for it was created for Deadpool. It's not any other thing.
Really? Okay. It's also DeLorean Motor Corporation or Motor Company or whatever it is.
It's also a Devil May Cry thing too. Did you ever play that? Ever play that game, Devil May Cry?
I didn't. It seemed too much for me.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is.
Okay. Department of Mutant Corrections, you said?
Yeah.
And it's only for Deadpool. Okay.
Yeah.
So we get X-Force in this movie.
Yeah, for 5 seconds.
How, is this the original cast of X-Force?
Some of them, Shattershot was definitely one, and I was disappointed.
Shatterstar,
I'm sorry. Shatterstar. Yeah. I'm disappointed that we didn't see more of him.
He is from Mojo World.
He's the son of Longshot and Dazzler. So, yeah.
Interesting. Dazzler's also from Mojo World?
Dazzler spent time in Mojo World after a while.
Okay. Because in this movie, Shatterstar says he's from Mojo World, which is what makes him basically better at everything.
Kinda. I'm not a big fan of Mojo World. We've talked about this before.
Yeah, we're both not big fans of Mojo World.
No, we talked about this at length in the X-Men stuff.
All right. Who else is in the X-Force in this movie? Domino.
Yep.
We talked about her. She's great.
Yep.
The Vanisher, is that a real character?
Yeah, it is, but nobody cares.
Okay. What about that vomit dude?
No, I never saw him before in my life.
Okay.
But hang on. There's one real quick. What's the IMDb? Okay. What's his name? Hang on.
Who's that Cruise guy?
Robert Delaney as Peter. I love Rob Delaney. He's fantastic. I'm really surprised he's in this movie. He's going to be in Deadpool 3 too, so that's pretty crazy.
Well, yeah. Peter's got to make a repeat appearance.
But it's not. It's like Rob Delaney's super funny. I love him. I saw him live in DC once. It was really good.
He's a comedian from England?
No, he's from America, but he lives in England.
Okay.
And his son died of some kind of thing, and he became a real big proponent of healthcare.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did he gain weight for this role, you think?
He's just chubby.
But he does have that headshot, and I've seen him.
He's gained weight, period. Not just
for the movie. All right. Not just for the movie. Okay. I liked the where they hold up his headshot, and he's like, "Am I being catfished here?" Let's see. Who else was? What about Terry Crews? What character was he?
I don't know.
Okay.
What was he?
That's some weird name.
Hang on,
I don't know.
I'm checking all.
Anyway.
I'm checking all cast and crews. Okay, Tom Cruise. Here, Terry Crews, Bedlam. Yeah, that's a character from the comics.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, nobody cares.
So all of these X-Force characters, other than Domino, nobody cares about them.
They kind of do. I mean, they all have story elements and stuff. But again, it's like I think the only one with real interest is Shatterstar. He was pretty heavy in X-Force for quite a while. So he was a big character for him. Which again, maybe disappointed that he got killed in 3 seconds. But it is what it is.
Right. Okay. Deadpool calls Cable One-Eyed Willie.
That's funny.
Do you know what that is?
Isn't it a reference to something?
It is a reference to something. It is at least the second reference to Goonies from this movie.
Okay.
One-Eyed Willie is the guy whose treasure they're after in the Goonies.
Okay, yeah.
And Cable has one eye in this movie. Mm-hmm. All right. Deadpool also calls Cable Thanos at one point.
Yeah, that was good.
Who's Negasonic Teenage Warhead's girlfriend, Yukio?
She is from the comics, and I think she was the character we talked about last episode from X-Men, the Wolverine. It's that character, but just
a
different version. If I'm not mistaken.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got one more question. Well, two more, I guess. What about Black Tom? His name is repeated a lot in this movie. I don't know if that's just
he is the
joke
he's Juggernaut's sidekick
in the comics.
In the comics, him and Juggernaut do a lot of stuff together. And currently,
is he a white guy in the comics?
He is. He's Irish. He is Banshee's cousin.
Okay, Interesting.
Yeah, Black Tom Cassidy is actually really cool. He's doing some like real cool stuff in the X-Men currently. At least if I can remember correctly.
Okay. And then did you actually see the end credits scene this time?
I saw. Yeah, I mean, I saw that Ryan Reynolds killed himself because he was going to do Green Lantern. I saw that.
Right.
And there was another piece of that too, right?
He kills.
He kills
Wade Wilson in the Wolverine Origins movie.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was funny. That's actually legitimately funny.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it was good. Good stuff. Good setup, I think, for Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, I mean,
unintentional.
I'm going to try to go into Deadpool 3 with no preconceptions or preconditions and just try to have fun with it. I am guilty of being sort of like a stick in the mud. I completely agree with that. So I need to adjust myself and be a better person for this movie.
That's right.
This movie deserves a chance, and I will give it a chance. I will do that, and then I'll just have to do it. And I mean, this is the only comic book movie that we're going to watch until what? Do we even know? You know?
I guess the next Captain America movie is the next one up, right?
Yeah, I have some news you could abuse about that. It's so interesting. Like when we started this podcast, we couldn't keep up with all the stuff going on, and now it's like,
right?
It's just like it's just, and that's how the industries are. There's nothing you really do about it.
Yeah,
which it's so just.
It rains, and then there's a drought,
and then it's going to be another. It'll rain some more, you know.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, are you ready for some news you have used?
I am ready.
So apparently, Avengers: Secret Wars is still a thing. It's going to happen. And in fact,
now Secret Wars is the second of the. So there was going to be a movie before Secret Wars, and then there was going to be Secret Wars at the end of the saga.
There was going to be Secret Wars is supposed to be Avengers 5, and then it was supposed to be one called Kang's Dynasty, which is after this one.
Oh, I thought Kang's Dynasty was first.
Well, Kang's Dynasty's gone, so that's not going to
work. Right.
So whatever Avengers, we don't. Okay, so here's the deal. I don't think that it's going to be called Avengers: Secret Wars. It might be called that, but I don't know. But
yeah, I mean, I think that's all up in the air.
Yeah. But the whole Kang thing is done. Period. All the shoots they did for quote unquote Thunderbolts, whatever that is, that could be something different. No one knows what.
I mean, it's Thunderbolts asterisk at this point.
Yeah, nobody knows anything about this stuff.
I'm not even sure that I don't think that movie's going to be called Thunderbolts when it comes out.
And if Avengers 5, he's Benedict Cumberbatch said he's working on that next year. That's 2025. That means it won't come out until 2026, maybe 2027 early. So
right.
I think most fans of the movies and stuff would be like, I don't care. It's been too long. They're going to have to do something crazy to get people to even remember.
Yeah, it almost feels like they should just use Deadpool and Wolverine to reboot the universe.
But what do you achieve from that? Because did they have to rebuild it?
Well, because it feels like they're in a nosedive that they can't pull out of.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I mean, Captain America is already on the book, so they're not going to reset that. You know. So I mean, here's my thing. I think it was a mistake for them to pull back. I mean, I think that they got some criticism about having too much and stuff like that from some fans, and I think that the overall, I think that some people in some people in society were like, we're sick of Marvel movies. But so what? I mean, I would have been like, I don't care how sick you are. We're going to pump these out and people will go watch them. And now...
Yeah, but like, what could they have gotten out?
They could have gotten...
Like, they're having trouble getting Captain America out.
Yeah, but that's their own fault at this point. And they're not pushing themselves to get that done. They pushed themselves so hard for years to make multiple Marvel movies a year. And were all of them great? No. Were they worth watching?
Yeah, but I think that's why they started to be bad.
But define bad.
Secret Invasion.
That was one time. Give me another one.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
That was decent. It was fun.
I mean, it was okay.
It was fun. And like, here's the deal. Like,
you're never going to rewatch that movie.
No, I'm not. But they've lost so much momentum. And here's the deal. They need people to watch Marvel movies to see, so they can want to see another Marvel movie. And like now, It's been so long. Yeah. Now it's been so long. Why should I go see this one? I haven't seen these in so long. I don't remember. So like, I think they shot themselves in the foot. I think they messed up big time with that. And now I don't know how they're going to fix it.
I definitely think there should be another Marvel movie this year, other than Deadpool and Wolverine.
I agree that we should have 2 a year at least. Like the fact that we don't have one for Christmas is ridiculous. Like now what? And like I understand some of this is from the writer's strike, so to be fair. But what do we have to look forward to?
Because like you can't do an interconnected universe if the movies are coming out every 2 years.
Thank you. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. So like, So I don't know what they're going to do, man. But
I mean, that worked for like James Bond because it's just a single character,
and it worked. It worked for Star Wars,
and the movies aren't really interconnected.
One of the problems too is that Disney and Marvel created the paradigm of having these movies come out so often. Like if you look at Star Wars, they only came out every 2 years, and that was fine. Everybody was used to it, and they knew movies take a long time to make. So we'll just have to see.
But like even like they weren't trying to tie in. So like they had the Luke Skywalker story, right? And they were telling that over 3 movies. They weren't telling the Luke Skywalker story plus the Han Solo story plus the Andor story all at once, right? That's what Marvel's been trying to do.
And plus, too, I mean, it was just kind of greed on their part. They got greedy. If they would have set a better film tone, and if they would have set a better release date tone early, like they should have said, "Hey, people, you should expect one Marvel movie a year. It's gonna be good every year," and we'd be fine. But now it's over. And like if they would have done that early, we would have been okay. But instead they were like, no, you go get 3 a year. Like okay.
Right. And 4 TV shows.
Yeah, it's not sustainable. And that's the problem. And like now they're in a weird boat. But
so is there anything on deck other than Captain America next year?
I can't think of anything. I know that Agatha is going to come out this holiday.
Let's talk movies only. Movies only.
Movie only is just Captain America. That's all I know.
Yeah. Maybe Thunderbolts.
I don't think you should look forward to that. I think here's the real truth, and this is going to the next news you can abuse. Captain America 4 is having reshoots. I don't think people should worry too much about that. They have reshoots all the time, so don't worry about that. In fact, I'm more encouraged by reshoots. That means that they might have some way to really make it good. But if Captain America 4 doesn't do well, then that's it. I'm not saying they're never going to make another Marvel movie again, but I mean, it's clear that the MCU Marvel movie train is either stopped or slowed to a certain point. But a lot of this has to do with the writer's strike, and a lot of it has to do with just like Disney new leadership not wanting to take a bunch of risk. But here's the deal: at some point, they're going to be like, God, we need another Spider-Man movie, and they're going to make one, and it's going to make $1 gazillion, and then all of a sudden it'll come back up. I mean, at a certain point, they are going to make comic book movies like they used to, and it's going to happen probably really soon.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm trying to think. Have they officially canceled any?
No, they haven't officially canceled anything. But if I were them, I would put a lot of my eggs into another Spider-Man movie. Everybody's going to go see that, and
I know,
all the Spider-Man movies are really good. So,
yeah, that's the thing that boggles my mind is why it's taken so long for them to get another Tom Holland movie going.
Yeah, well, we don't know.
It's the easiest thing in the world. You've got the perfect setup from the last Spider-Man movie. Run with it.
And you don't know, there's like, there's political things as far as...
I know, but that's the stupid part.
I know.
They, in the last movie that they all agreed to release together, they have the perfect pitch for the next Spider-Man movie.
Well, I mean,
you put that perfect pitch out into the world. Run with that pitch.
Well, people who make a lot more money than the people who should be making decisions make these decisions, and two, right. Holland might not want to do it again. So who knows?
He would do it again.
Yeah, he would. I think he would, but yeah. I don't know. All right. That's it for News You Can't Abuse. Next time, we are going to do Logan, which I'm actually really excited about.
I will be watching that movie for the first time ever. Yeah, I hear really good things about it.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Have you seen it before?
No, so I'm going to watch it.
Awesome. Okay, yeah.
Yep. Mike, how can this...
I think this is a full-on, maybe nachos, some movie theater style cheese, and Dr. Pepper movie for me.
Yeah, this is probably going to be a popcorn movie for me. I might watch it tonight, actually. This is popcorn, something to drink and just kind of relax. Yeah. Right. Mike, how can our listeners learn more about our podcast, get other people to listen to our podcast? How can people reach out to other people about our podcast?
Hit that share button. Share it with your friends and your group chats. Share it with, we've got a holiday coming up, Independence Day. Write it on some napkins at your cookout. Watch or listen to Super Sideshow podcast. Just write it on those napkins.
Actually,
what do you think?
Write it on a hot dog, like with ketchup.
On the hot dog bun. Hot dog in ketchup. I like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like that. Yeah,
I'm a hamburger hot dog guy at cookout, which means I get
both.
I get a
hamburger
you need both. And a hot dog. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I hear you, dude.
I'm going to eat both of those things.
I would rather have a hamburger and a hot dog than either one of those by themselves with French fries.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's just I don't get a chance to eat that often, and so it's a fun time. Nobody's paying attention to me. My wife's not watching what I'm doing, so I can eat what I want.
Yeah, I hear you.
This is funny. All right.
That'd be great.
So I think that this is going to be good because we watched Deadpool 1, we watched Deadpool 2, we go watch Logan, and then Deadpool 3 comes out. So it's going to be great. And we already did the Wolverine. Right. We did X-Men Origins. So
yeah. It's a perfect setup. Yeah, perfect setup. Deadpool, the Wolverine, Deadpool 2, Logan, Deadpool 3.
Perfect.
And perfect.
I'm worried that Logan...
If we had planned it, it couldn't have been better. And we did plan it.
I'm worried that Logan's going to be so good that Deadpool 3 is going to be like, ugh. So,
nah, come on. They'll both be great.